talk about the IK Multimedia Uno analog synths filter. Because with analog synths, the filter really is important for the analog character. If you have a good analog filter, you have a good analog synth, basically. So let's have a listen. The filter section is super easy to control. Just as we said with the oscillator section, there's actually a lot of possible combinations, and I'm going to try and run through a lot of them. Right now, I have the oscillator set to the same old boring sawtooth wave because I want to give you a reference point to compare the filters. So that's why we're just using this straightforward sawtooth oscillator, and it's going to be a little bit quiet at first because the filter can get pretty loud with the drive and the resonance happening. So we're going to start off a little bit quieter. Anyway, so here's our sawtooth wave. Guess we can turn it down as we go. Now, the one knob on the Uno that is for a specific function, and that function alone, as far as synthesis is concerned, is the cutoff knob we have right here. So let's have a listen to the Uno's filter. We're going to start off with a low pass filter. And I'm just going to sweep through the filter cutoff so we can hear what this filter sounds like when it is filtering just a straight single sawtooth. Let's start off with it at the top. Now you notice as I'm turning that knob, we're not hearing a whole lot of stepping. With some synthesizers, you'd hear a lot of stepping when they have digital functionality, as this one does. But with this one, it's pretty dang smooth. And it's a nice sounding 12 decibel per octave filter. So let's listen to it with a little bit of resonance. So we're going to go over to the filter section, choose filter, and then that means this knob will be the resonance. So I'm going to turn it up a quarter way, about 25. And then we'll do a sweep through. Put it up to about 50. Put it up to the point just below its type of self-oscillation. Let's turn that down a little bit. And I'm going to turn the resonance all the way up. That is a great low-pass filter sound. Okay, let's try this with a different filter type. Let's head on to the high-pass filter. And, of course, you control the filter type over here with the mode knob in the filter. This will be a high-pass filter. As you can see, we're starting high, and then as we close it, it's not actually closing; it's letting more of the low notes in. Okay, let's turn up the resonance about a quarter way. We'll turn it up about halfway. Nice frothy sound. Just below self-oscillation. And then all the way into self-oscillation. That is a really interesting filter character. That's a very useful thing. What is really important in filters is that a filter has its own character and that character is aurally pleasing and useful. And I think we definitely have that going on here with this synthesizer. Let's listen to the Bandpass, my personal favorite. It's pretty mild without resonance. Listen to it with about 1/4 of the way resonance. The resonance about halfway up. Just below self-oscillation. And then all the way up. That's very frothy. I like it. Again, you've got a small, convenient synth with a convenient price that has a great sounding filter. That's a very useful filter. And we haven't even really touched on the functionality. You have all the settings for filter type. You have the whole, filter cutoff frequency range, different. Each of the filters sounds very different with different resonance settings. And then we have this thing called drive. Let's listen to it. Okay, I'm going to put it back on a low-pass filter. That is a fat filter. Listen to that. That sounds really nice. Anyway, okay, so let's listen to we're just going to take, we're not going to use any resonance. The sawtooth is at, halfway up as far as filter cutoff. Let's listen to what the drive does. Of course, it gets a little bit louder because you can expect that from something that is overdriving. And it's a very subtle thing, but it gives it a more saturated character. Then we'll add some resonance in. It's a much rougher sound. And perhaps a good way to test this would be to move right into envelope amount. So we're going to turn the envelope amount up, which is going to have us going into the envelope section, at least for the filter, and setting the filter envelope. It's very straightforward. It's just attack and decay. So we'll give it a little bit of a soft attack. Let's go back up to filter and set the amount. So you can hear that drive in there. Let's take it out. And then when you bring the drive in, you can hear the distortion. So yeah, one of the great things that you can do to a filter is add that sort of saturation to it. It gives the filter much more character. It's kind of the mini Moog trick. Let's hear that envelope with different filter types. With our high pass, let's listen to the band pass. And And don't forget, you can set your filter envelope to negative. That is a fat sounding synthesizer. And if we wanted to add in a little more oscillator too. So you have a great deal of range to mess around with as far as this filter is concerned. You have 3 different filter types, each with resonance and your filter cutoff, and then you have positive and negative envelope amounts, and then an AD filter envelope to control it. So there's a broad range, a broad spectrum of filter possibilities, as we've just kind of seen. And it's a nice sounding filter, which is nice and very usable. Having the envelope in the negative on the high pass filter gives you this big low end punch when you have the filter envelope set to that. Anyway, it's a great sounding filter, and you have enough functionality to create some really, really nice tones and some really great filter effects.